What is going on, guys? 2.0 here, and in today's video we're going to go through all the things you can do to prepare for the upcoming Rise of Iron expansion pack. So obviously this checklist is here for those who want it. If you want to go into the expansion and progress at the rate that you choose, that's absolutely fine. This video is here for those who want to power level as quickly as possible, whether that's to be ready for the raid, as you will need to be a certain light level in order to be effective in the raid when that is released. You might want to quickly acquire some of the new gear, or maybe you just want to be a higher level than all of your friends. So we will quickly get the blatantly obvious stuff out of the way first, reach level 40, and then get as close to 335 light as possible. 335 is not necessary, but the closer you can get to that, the better. And then if you are 335, then brilliant. That's one thing to take off the list. And then do this with 3 characters. If you have 3 characters, then that's 3 times the loot. And so a perfect scenario, whilst not essential, would be to have 3 characters all at 335 light. If you can get this done, you should find it much easier to get that higher level loot on day 1 of the expansion. If not, don't worry, you won't be too far behind. So next up, the not so obvious, edging your ranks. This essentially means leveling your vendor's ranks up to the point where all you need to do is turn in 1 bounty, or for a faction, trade some materials, Cryptarch, open 1 engram, and then you will receive a package. Now, this is a great idea because if you earn that package after the Rise of Iron is released, it will contain Rise of Iron loot at higher light levels that can currently be achieved. And therefore, if all you have to do is turn in 1 bounty, 1 engram, or trade 1 set of materials with a faction, you will get a ton of new rewards and increase your light level within, say, 1 minute of upon arriving at the tower. Now, you can do this as many times as you want. Personally, I've already edged my Gunsmith, Queen's Wrath, House of Judgment, Crota's Bane, and Cryptarch ranks on my 2nd and 3rd characters, as I don't use these as much, and then I will do the Vanguard, Crucible, and faction ranks when we get closer to the release date, as I do still want to be able to do activities such as the Nightfall and Iron Banner, and so those ranks can wait, but everything else I'm already getting them right about to be leveled, as well as the bounties that I will need to tide the ranks over. And then for my main character, it's pretty much the same thing, but I will leave my Cryptarch rank over here until a few days before the Rise of Iron as well, so that I can still open engrams. One more thing on these ranks, you will only be able to pick up 2 faction packages per character in the first week of the Rise of Iron, as you can only change your faction allegiance once per week. So say for example you are with Dead Orbit upon release, you claim your Dead Orbit package and then you move over to New Monarchy to claim your package there. You will then have to wait until the next weekly reset in order to claim your future Walkout package, unless of course they allow us to change as many times as we'd like again, but if not, you'll only be able to claim 2 faction packages per character on day 1 of the Rise of Iron, but personally I'll still be edging all 3 so long as I don't run out of time. So edge your vendor's ranks, and that is a very quick way to get some of the nice new rewards straight away. The next thing you can do to prepare is save any exotic engrams that you get. Now, people are always skeptical about this, but it is still a good idea to do so, and that's because when the April update was released and the max light level went from 320 to 335, any exotic engrams earned before the update could be opened and drop higher than 320. So even though you might not be able to get some of the new exotics as the engram was earned before the Rise of Iron was released, it could still drop at a higher light level currently achievable, just like the vendor packages mentioned before. Now, I am about to hit rank 400 with the Cryptarch over on my main character, so I will be opening a lot of exotic engrams in a video for that very soon, but I will still have plenty of time to save up some more engrams specifically for this reason, as it will be a very easy way to raise your light level by simply opening exotics and then infusing the higher level drops that you get into the gear that you actually want to use. And of course, opening exotic engrams gives you a ton of reputation towards another Cryptarch package, which will then give you even more rewards. Next up, stockpile your materials, specifically strange coins, motes of light, and 3 of coins. Strange coins because of Xur. You want to make sure you're ready for when Xur brings us those shiny new year 3 exotics. Motes of light for leveling up your gear, as you're going to be earning a ton of new stuff that you'll want to try out straight away, and so having a nice pile of motes will allow you to level these weapons and armors up quickly and get the upgrades on them to see how they perform at their full potential. And then 3 of coins to get those exotic engrams, as obviously the engrams earned then will be able to give out the new exotics, and there will be a ton of opportunities to use 3 of coins throughout all of the new missions, quests, and strike that we will have to do. So having a nice amount of 3 of coins means you won't have to worry about running out before Xur arrives at the tower later in the week. I do have tutorials on how I farm strange coins and motes of light, as I do currently have over 2,000 strange coins and over 8,000 motes of light. So both of those tutorials will be linked in the description if you are interested in how I get so many of either of those materials. A few more things you can stockpile are legendary marks. It's a good idea to at least max out your legendary marks by getting 200 of them, but if you want to go even further than that, save any unwanted legendaries that you get now in your vault so that you can dismantle them after the Rise of Iron is released, as if you have a full stack of 200, once you purchase one new weapon, you won't have enough to buy any more items, so you'll be able to head over to your vault and start dismantling all that unwanted legendary gear that you saved and get a bunch of your legendary marks back. And if you saved enough of them, you might be able to get back up to 200 again, and then just repeat the process until you either run out of marks or run out of items to buy, although I'd imagine there'll be a ton of things that we'll all want to buy, and so you'll probably end up running out of marks first, but still, doing this will allow you to get them back much quicker. You can also save up the certain bounties that reward 25 legendary marks after turning them in. These are the ones from Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris, so if you have these complete and ready to be turned in, that too is an extremely quick way to restock your legendary marks. Similar to this, getting a full stack of Glimmer would be a good idea as well. You never know what you might need Glimmer for, but getting a full stack of it definitely won't hurt. And in the meantime, save up any of the consumables that can be turned in with the Cryptarch for 200 Glimmer, as again, that is a very easy way to restock if you run out during the Rise of Iron. Next up, charge your runes for the Cord of Oryx. Now, this probably isn't going to matter a great deal, but I will explain why I'm still going to be doing this. So, currently the easiest way to get a maxed light level artifact is by playing in the Court of Oryx and using a tier 2 or tier 3 rune. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be going for the Iron Lord's artifacts, as they do sound insane, but for a quick artifact upgrade within the first few days, the Court of Oryx might still be one way of getting that done. The max light level for the Rise of Iron will be 385, and then later on it will move up to 400 with the hard mode raid, but to start with, max light will be 385, and that's still quite a jump up from the current max light level of 335, and so being able to get a better artifact fairly early on in the expansion will definitely help out with increasing your light level. There's also speculation of a new form of the Court of Oryx, but either way, what are you using those runes for right now? Chances are, not a lot. So personally, even though I doubt it'll make a huge difference and the Court of Oryx might just become one of those activities that gets forgotten about, I'm not really using the runes right now, and so I'm going to be charging them up and saving them just in case the Court of Oryx can still drop higher level artifacts. Now, you never know, it might be able to drop artifacts up to 350 light, for example, so that's still an upgrade. So personally, I'll be saving mine. It's entirely up to you whether you do the same, but I thought I'd include it here anyway. And then another thing I'd recommend doing that will make all the missions and quest lines much easier is to tidy up your quest page. Either complete or delete the quests that you currently have on you, because if you remember all the way back to the beginning of year 2 and the Taken King, we had so many quests stored here, and it got to the point where it was confusing on which ones you were actually working on at the time. So have a clear out with these quests. If there's any that you've had there for ages, just get rid of them. If you abandon them, they will end up going to your kiosk anyway, and the step that you were on will remain. So you won't lose your progress unless you're on a step where you are working through a percentage. I tested this specifically with the Chaperone questline here, at the stage that requires Crucible kills with the last word equipped. If you're a certain way through this stage, in this case I'm only 4% through, and then you abandon it and later decide to go for it again, the progress towards this will be reset back down to 0%. So say for example you're on 80%, you might want to just finish that stage off now or keep the quest line in your inventory. I just never got round to completing this one on my Warlock, as I already did the quest on a previous character. So I will be abandoning this one, but have a clear out at some point before the Rise of Iron, as then you'll be able to sort through all the new quests that you get much more easily. Another quick one here, but also very important, buy any items that you want now. A new expansion means new vendor gear, and therefore the current gear will no longer be sold. So if there is something you've been wanting to buy, make sure you get it soon. So many people wish they bought the original Hung Jury Scout Rifle from Dead Orbit. Then, when the April update was released, the perks changed and they could no longer buy it with those great upgrades. Well, with year 3 around the corner, not only are the upgrades going to change, but so are the weapons. So if you still haven't bought everything you want yet, make sure you do so before it's too late. All of these weapons will be able to be infused up to 400 attacks, so if you think you'll want it at some point, get it whilst you can. And then lastly, the final thing I wanted to mention is, don't sweat it guys. If there's something on this list that you don't feel like doing, or maybe you don't want to do anything on this list, that's absolutely fine. Don't get burnt out of the game now. That's the last thing you want to do right before an expansion, so don't treat it like a chore. If you don't feel like doing something, don't do it. Like I said, you won't be that far behind, But if like me you enjoy doing all the preparation ready for the expansions, hopefully this video has given you some new ideas on how you can best do so. If you have any more ideas, go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. But that is going to bring us to the end of the video, guys. So if you did enjoy it or it helped you out, please leave a like, 'cause it really does help the channel out. Follow me on Twitter, the link will be in the description below. Subscribe if you're new around here as I upload daily Destiny videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.